All right, what's going on, guys? Today's Thursday, February 23rd, 2023. So it's 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3. All right. Um, so it would seem as if the market is actually coming back some, hitting highs at 4,034. We are kind of pulling back a little bit. Let's go ahead and dive into the chart and take a look at what's going on the day. Um, and hopefully do some trading. We had a great day yesterday, and let's go for that again today. Here we are in our handy dandy sink or swim. See, we popped up there all the way up to 4,034.25. We had a lot of resistance right there at 33. I'm actually going to throw right in here. Right there. And then, right, and then we're coming up, tapping this resistance zone right here. And I think that we've got some opportunity here, so I'm going to join the bid. I'm going to also take a look at the volume playing out. Volume's pretty reasonable. It's between like 2,500 and 4,000 contracts per minute. Getting some drop right there, right after I entered. Looks like it was a pretty nice morning. Down almost 300 in this trade. Probably should have taken a look at the longer time frames. This is quite the sell-off here. After that bounce, they're coming all the way down to the 200 simple moving average. If we have to, I'll cut it and just work our way back up. It's not a big deal. We are dropping below the VWAP though. I think I'm gonna cut this and just go from there. It's a quick little feeler trade. It's loud. Alright. Let's check this out. Feels a little more reasonable. What's up, Tiny? Crazy. Yeah, it's funny because it's not always so noticeable to me, like when I first start, and then it just sometimes gets, louder or something. Looks like I potentially could have stayed in that trade. I'm gonna join the bid here. I missed that entry. Slow movement on the day. Like, there's movement, but it's slow. Okay, we're entered long again at 22 and a quarter. We got out at 23 and a quarter. I'm gonna try to enter long again off 23 and get out at 24. We've got some resistance there at 25. Got out at 23 or 24. Got in at 23. All right, I'm gonna take a look at the longer time frames. Looks like we're about to get a bounce here. 3 minute getting a red candle on the pullback there though, on the TTM. Pulling all the way down to 21. GTM looking like 5.49 to 5.4, or sorry, 4.55 to 4.55 to 4.9. So we may get some continued pullback, possibly down to about 4,018, which is where these ones dropped to. We did pretty much get back to break even off that one first trade that we lost on. 5-minute chart is trending downward. I think you might be looking at going short. I'm gonna look to go short off 19. In short at 19. Now we're on profit on the day. We're up $75. So we held down here at like 16 and a quarter. We'll see if that happens again. Yeah, that makes sense. No trading till you get your internet back. I totally get that. Makes a lot of sense. Did you get a like bunch of weather where you're at or something? Or is the internet just down for the sake of being down because that's what happens sometimes? That's always so frustrating too. I think the part that's most frustrating about that is that like there's just like everything operates off of the internet now. Like everything. Like I haven't had TV since I was like, I don't know, 11 or something like that. But if I did, I wouldn't be able to watch it. So it's kind of funny. All right, so we did pull back down to about 16. We are getting a blue to red on the 1-minute chart. I'm gonna just short right here. We're gonna short off 17. Might not be the best idea, but just because of this whole thing here. So I'm gonna keep this sell order kind of small and just take 2 ticks on it. So I made 75 on that. My concern is that it basically would have like potentially bounced here since it already bounced before. The longer time frames are making it look to like it's going to continue downward. As far as a continued downward force goes, we do have room all the way down to like 4,013 as far as this one is concerned. This support level anyway. I'm going to throw a level right there. Pulling all the way back down now to 1650. Lower band of the VWAP is down at 4,010. Up 150 on the day. A little slow, but you know. Yep, that makes sense. I appreciate that, Sonny. It's kind of funny because this whole month has been like such a challenge. And the moment that we failed our evaluations, now we're like kicking butt again. And I don't think that's actually like normally I would be like, okay, well, is that a psychology reason? But no, I just like the trading this month has just been crazy difficult. As far as spread candles go, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row, pulling all the way down here to 13. I'm gonna look for that red to yellow move on the 1 minute chart, but this is looking like we're potentially gonna get a upward move. I'm gonna try and get in long at 14. I should have bought off that 13 drop there, which was the area that I was talking about. It's a bit more of a drop than I wanted to see. We're in long at 1350. Gratefully, the system is a little forgiving sometimes in its leg. That it filled me at 13 and a half. That's not how an evaluation would go. We're going to get out at 14 and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red candles in a row. Continued downward force on the TTM as well. $15 seconds left in this candle. It's hitting that sort of double bottom there. May continue downward. Does have reasonable downward force. 2.8 to 3.6 to 4.5. I'm going to cut this trade. Should have just stayed with the shorting. So for I took an anticipatory trade, and those usually get me in trouble, but I don't always recognize when I'm doing it. Look how long it takes to fill a market order. Isn't that crazy? I don't always recognize when I'm doing it, and that's something I need to get better at. Because the anticipatory trades, like, I think that the reason why I would want to do that to begin with is because I'm trying to capture more of the move, and sometimes I end up capturing, you know, a falling knife or something that I shouldn't be. That candle hit with it like over 12,000 contracts. So we've been trading like 2 to 4 this whole time, and then we got a drop here at 12,000 contracts. I'm gonna wait for red to yellow. The 50 actually crossed towards the downside, so we do have more continued downward pressure. I'm gonna open my office door. It's excessively hot in here today. I was worried it was going to get too hot in here because when I walked in, I was like, man, this place is kind of warm. I don't know why this room gets so hot. Nowhere else in the whole house does it get this hot. Big drop, dropping below the lower band of the VWAP. If we pull back here, wow, that's a huge drop. That's some news drop or something like that. Take a look at the news here. Thursday we had, so today we had initial jobless claims, so we had GDP. So that's pretty important. Forecast was 2.9, we hit 2.7. And then we've got a here at 7:50. So that's right now. We've got Atlanta Fed's Rachel Bostic speaks. So Rachel Bostic is speaking right now. How are the jobless claims? Let's see. Jobless claims. The forecast was 197,000 and it was 192,000. The previous was 195K. So jobless claims went down. U.S. jobless claims stay firmly below $200,000 for the 6th straight week. I'm assuming that's good news. A signal of a strong job market. The lowest level in 3 weeks. I mean, it really didn't change much. I mean, honestly, it went down, but it went down slightly. Nothing to write home about. This major drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We've put in only red candles for 13 minutes. That is crazy. And this pops, I think it was going to pop pretty hard. 7.8 to 9.3 to 10.8. This is right before the Fed girl started speaking. All right, we're gonna look for a rip upward on this with that first green candle. But we had some leveling off here. It could just do exactly what it did here, which is just dump down. If that happens, it happens. But I'm looking to take advantage of this for a couple of reasons. Number one, now we don't have a lot of indicators in our favor, but we do have the bottom support here, and we did drop below the lower band of the VWAP, which typically gives us a decent sized rip back up. I'd be looking for a rip back up to about 4,012, and then we could see continued downward momentum on that, or just right around in that area. But that's the idea for the trade. 9.3 to 10.6 to 11.4, 11.5. Risk on this will be about 4,010. Or 4,001, I'm sorry, not 10. Pretty massive decline over the last 15 minutes. I mean, we went from 25 all the way down to 4,000. $11.6, yeah, to 12.3. New candles in at 12.5. So getting some flattening, some leveling on that TTM there. Gonna need to see that red to yellow. We're right at our risk level. There's that yellow. We should start seeing some pop up now. We don't want to see this break above 4,005. TTM looking like 12.3 to 12.2, 12.1. So not enough momentum to consider this to begin the trend reversal. Next one, so it ended at 12.17. Next one's opening up at about 11.9 on the TTM. Like I said, that's not enough momentum to begin the trend reversal, so it could do this red to yellow, then red, like back to red. It does look like we're getting reasonable support here, but you can see that downward pressure continuing. Range of the candles is relatively big today. 12.1 to 12.0. This is like kind of what some of the days look like when we took some of our heavier losses on the day. They look pretty similar to this. 3 yellow candles in a row, 12.1, 12.0, 12.0. I'm going to cut that. So it's at our risk level. Start coming back up too. I cut this for 2 reasons. Number one, this was putting in that that red candle that I mentioned that it may do on the TTM. The other reason was because it did hit our risk price as well. But now it's starting to pop back up, so maybe I should have held through that pullback. 12.0 to 11.6. It's looking a little bit better. Try and get in here at 4,003. Right, long off 3. I could just keep going long and killing my account for no good reasons. I appreciate that, Tiny. This here. I'm sorry you can't watch the charts. But if you are able to, of course, please like and subscribe. It does make a pretty big difference, actually. Like legit, like when like on the days when we get like 30% like versus viewership, and I'm trying to go for 100%, because it's like only about 3% of our viewers actually hit like, which is kind of crazy to think about. That it's only like 3 to 4% actually hit the like button, but when the numbers get higher, like when more like a higher percentage of our viewers actually like the video, then YouTube shows us to a lot more people, like a substantially higher amount of people. Like it's crazy because like 1 like shows us to like a little, like a larger pool of people. 2 likes shows us to a significantly larger pool of people. Once we get to like 5 likes or something like that, then all of a sudden, like we'll see this massive influx of viewership. It's pretty interesting, actually, just to watch it play out. CTM going from 11.3 to 10.4 to 9.6, and we're riding along this this area here pretty strongly. So I do think that this is actually going to rip up. We may actually even have room up to about 4,010 area. But I'm not going to take that swing. I do think that we're going to pop back up above this lower band of the view app, though. I consider taking a swing all the way up to about 4,009. As it stands, we're trying to get out at 4,007 area. $10.4 to 9.4 to 9 to 8.4. We're getting more and more stack on the CTM. I think I'm going to actually go for that trade. I'm going to put this up at 4,009. Which would be worth $900, this trade here, if it does actually play out. We are up just about 400 or so in it. Possible crossover there. TTM going from 9.4 to 8.0 to 6.7. So TTM starting to stack up with a lot of pretty strong momentum. These are the moves that we look for. These are the ones that were like when we're beginning to see the stacking happening on the TTM. Usually when we get the red yellow, we get a rip like right away. But this one played out a little bit different. It sort of consolidated while the TTM stacked up more and more momentum. So we're looking to get out of 4,009. Currently down at 4,008.5. So really close to our exit. Now all this is really doing is recovering our losses from earlier, but I'm going to take this profit here, actually. Now we just got to wait for it to actually let us out. Okay, so we actually made like over 700 on that one. We made like 780 or $900, or not 900, sorry. But we made over like 780 on that trade. So we got back to green. We were down like 675, I think. I'll have to go back in the stream and actually figure it out. But we're down like 675 on the day. And now we're up 150 on the day off that one trade. It was kind of a longer trade, but I could see the chart playing it out. So very nice trade. Would love to trade like that on a very consistent basis. But usually I'm trying to just get in and get out right away. I had the patience for this one just because I could see the trend reversal on the way. And it was pretty obvious with strong support. Thank you. So you're going to pull back now to about 4,006, and we're popping off of that. Let's see, 6.4 to 5.1 to 3.7. TTM's looking great. We have a possible crossover inbound for the for upward move. Sorry you can't watch the charts with us, Tiny. I appreciate you being here. I actually very much do. Okay, so we're getting some pullback now with the TTM stacking. This is kind of a little bit to be expected. I want to see that now, in order to really get a confirmed move, I'd want to see the 9 get above the 12. I do think that we have the capability of taking a move without that confirmation, though. But I'm not going to go for the 15 ticks that we were trying for before. I'm going to go for like 6. And I'm going to try and get in here at about... it already popped up past my entry where I was planning to enter. We try to enter at 4,007. Still popping up past me. Ripped up now to 4,008. We got a little double top there at 4,008.5. I'm gonna look for a cyan switch, but before, I think I can just get in anywhere along this point. If it'll let me in, we're in at 4,007.25. And it is pulling back a little bit. We do have a doji at the bottom of that flag, so I think that this one's going to play out okay. I think that we may have room up to 4,010. We still need to see that 9 cross above the 12 EMA. That 9-12 cross will be very crucial in order to actually see this confirmation play out. Pulling back to 4,006. Puts us currently at break even on the day. But I do think that this one's going to play. A little more pullback than I want to see, but the TTM is still stacking upward. So I may have to trust the trade here, trust the process, but I do think that I absolutely could have got a better entry off this long. I was worried about this, but I ended up taking it, I think, honestly, out of FOMO, because that we entered on the doji candle, and the doji candle had ripped up so much. So I think that I actually took this trade off FOMO. This candle's like 100% sell orders. That's insane. Whoa. Holy crap. All right. Well, I'm going to cut that. That was a big fatty loss. 7,000 contracts traded, pushing that downward. Almost all sells. I don't think that this drop is going to last. I think it's going to come back. And I think that for a number of reasons. Number one, we're really close to a cyan switch. Number two, we're really close to a crossover of the 1226. But now, in order for this to play, I think we absolutely need to see that 9-12 crossover, which is what I should have waited for on the get there, but I didn't really, because the TTM just was stacking so much. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Just to see that many contracts come in all at once to push that volume down so bad. Yeah, definitely. The 9 above VWAP, like when it's beginning to cross over the volume weighted average price, is also a really nice indicator for bullish sentiment. To be honest, Tiny, the trading on the day, I mean, it's kind of one of those days where they kind of run it up, and then they drop like 13,000 contracts on you. So, and it's all good. You don't need to be sorry for when I take losses. I mean, honestly, the losses no longer affect me emotionally. I think that they do more when the losses are in the evaluation, but when it's in the sim, it can eventually affect me, if it's just loss after loss, but that's not been the case today, and it's not like a common thing for it to affect me though. ES dropping below 4,000, dropping down to 39.96. How is this not a new low on the day? This is from yesterday. Yesterday's low was 3983.75. This is just massive. Let's take a look at the 3-minute chart here. 3 minutes just continuing to decline. I think I want to see a yellow on the 5-minute side. But 5 minutes continuing to decline. Dun, dun, dun. All right, in long, just under 4,000. Just looking to get out at 4,001.25. We're gonna have to scalp our way back, unfortunately, especially since we put ourselves in profit a couple of times today and put ourselves in red a couple of times today. All right, made a little bit back, down 637.50 on the day. CTM pulled all the way back to 2.1. Now it's popping back up to 1.8. That's only a momentum move of 0.3, so it's not very strong per se. You got a little micro cup and handle here forming. Considering an entry off of 4,001. Took an entry at 4,000.5. I don't really like the movement, so I'm gonna just put it one tick up and see if it gives me an opportunity to get out. Doesn't look like it's going to. Going back to 99. Cutting that right back where we started. At least a second ago. Alright. I just think that we need to hang back now. I don't want to take any shorts down here at this level just because it's like well below the lower band of the VWAP. So I don't want to take shorts. I don't want to go long either because basically it's been failing pretty heavily with massive falling knife candles coming into play over and over. We caught one of these falling knives earlier this week in the evaluation. That's actually what killed our eval, because we were in a trade long, and then we just happened to catch one. Tried to cut it pretty quickly, but it ripped down very fast, and we ended up losing the eval off that. But it's all good. We'll get back into the evaluations soon. Also, guys, too, if you are looking to earn funding yourselves, you may want to check out Elite Trader Funding. In my own personal opinion, these guys are the best in the biz. They allow you multiple trading softwares to choose from, which is awesome because most people only provide you one, or most prop firms only provide you one. But it does allow you to trade with starting as low as $10,000, and you can get a evaluation all the way up to $300,000. So you can actually trade with the equity of the whole house. But they have a wide variety of plans to choose from. one-step evaluations, the fast track evaluations, which are a less expensive option, but they do have a time limit. There's the end of the day drawdown, which is more what you'll find at most prop firms. There's the static drawdown, which most people tend to like. A lot of people really like the statics because they're super simple to understand. And then there's a brand new diamond hands evaluations, which allows you to hold positions overnight and weekends, which is very much not common. So if you guys want to check this out and earn some funding yourself, you can actually, like I said, pick up a 50K account or a 75K account, whatever it happens to be. But there's a link in the description and a promo code JSBest. In my own personal opinion, getting access to $50,000 for less than 165 bucks, whatever the deal is. I think it was, I'm not sure what it's at right now. I think it goes down to about 123. So getting access to a 50K account for 123 bucks is in my opinion, the deal of a lifetime. Because you're not trading with your own $50,000. You are actually using somebody else's money to be able to trade the markets and take profit, and you guys share in the profits. And I think that is one of the best business models out there. But the business model aside, the consumer, I think, very much wins when it comes to situations like this. So be sure to check these guys out. There's a link in the description, and promo code is JSBESC. That'll get you hooked up with that. Quick assessment there for you, Joel. You went long right as it came into the resistance. That was support for about 30 minutes, an hour ago. So, yeah, I have noticed that I've been going long kind of just at the support and resistance levels. You're talking about this section here where I went long? I think so. And you're absolutely correct. Or were you talking about the section over here where I went long? Either way, we got a very nice trade from here to here. But this section here where we went long on that doji, and just didn't work out. I mean, I went long on this doji for two reasons. Number one, I was looking at this potential crossover, but the other was that the TTM was very close to a cyan switch. Then we ended up getting this breakdown here with over 7,000 contracts traded. Or are you talking about the resistance here at 4,000? Because that was also, I think that there's pretty good resistance there at 4,000. I was just curious which one. Okay. Person meeting, the Atlanta Fed lady, what she was talking about, but right around the time that she started talking, the market started dropping. A little bit of a talking drop. Pulling back to 39.95. You imagine if we just end up in free fall? This doesn't have any indication though that's going to be popping back up anytime soon. Nothing that I can really see. I'm going to take a look at this kind of previous chart here. Yeah, even this like fall down makes more sense. Excuse me. CTM continuing to stack downward. A lot of decline in the market. I guess I should have been just going short off the 9 EMA, because if you really look at this, like this thing's rejected the 9 EMA so many times. There's one, there's two, there's a third one, there's a fourth one, there's a fifth one. Maybe it's just be shorting at the 9 EMA. 4.2 to 4.17 to 5.0. No, 4.77, sorry. The 5.0. Getting leveling off again, and this is coming down here and kind of finding support a little bit at 95. But we gotta wait. A lot of waiting today on days like this. A lot of waiting. But part of trading is waiting. And I think that's something that not a lot of people really talk about. I want to thank you guys for the new subscribers, by the way. If you are chilling, hanging out, and maybe you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Right now, only about 3% of our viewers actually like the videos, actually click the like button. And so we would love it if we can get that up to even 10% would make a big difference. But we'd like to see 100% participation. If you are here, please hit the like button. It does help. It's a free way to support the channel and to support the growth of our community. 5.2 down to 5.7, continuing to drop. Again, I don't see any indication of this turning around anytime soon. Right, as I say that, we get a yellow candle form. No indication. There it is. 5.7 to 5.8. If we do get another red to yellow run like that, I may take some scalps, but I'm gonna wait for the yellow candle to actually be there. I'm not gonna take the larger swing like I did over here. This one made more sense just because we had so much yellow candles stack up. So I'd have to really see this begin to turn around a little bit and have a yellow candle for a while. And you can see it's kind of flashing back and forth to one. $5.7 to 5.8 to 5.9. Seemingly finding support off 95, 93, 95 area. Seemingly. It could just continue downward. Especially whoever's putting through like 6,500 shorts, like 6,500 contracts at a time. Because it's really consistent, that number. I don't know if I can go back that far in the time and sales. So let me put through 12 contracts. There's one that put through 32 contracts. It's a lot of contracts. Well, I guess we're still just kind of waiting for that turnaround. If not the turnaround, just like some more indication of downward moves. My search is taking like 2 tick shorts. In long at 92.5. They're just going to get out at 93. We do have a yellow candle formed there. All right, so we made a little bit back on that. These little micro scalps, I think, are going to be the way for a little bit here. 6.1 to 6.0. 8 seconds left in this candle. We got a double doji at the bottom. And then 5.8, now 5.3. Gonna put this up to 6 ticks. And I'm gonna look to join the bid off of 94 and a quarter if I can. No, it's running too fast for me. And long at 94.75. I'm looking for a move up to 96 and a quarter. TTM going from 5.8 to 5.3. So reasonable amount of momentum up. But 39.95 is its own resistance level. So I'm actually like more or less pushing for this to break above 95. Which it looks like it might not do. 5.8 to 5.3 to 5.3. So that may not end up playing out. The upper band, the lower band of the VWAP is actually down there at 97. So I kind of almost expect some room up to that. To pull back all the way to 93. All right, gonna cut this trade. Yep, I'm out. Let's stick with 2 ticks on the day. It does look like it's still gonna pop back up. But I'm having a difficult time on direction on the day. I mean, like it's very clearly downward trend. But the actual trading of itself. So this one rejected off the 9 EMA again, like what we talked about earlier. We have a lot of rejections there at 9 EMA. Made back a little micro profit. The 4,000. Okay. Oh yeah, you like this track? Which track is this? This track is legit called "Failed the Test" by Toby Trainer. It's like perfect for a eval fail. But I actually like this beat though. I actually like this whole song. The beat, the melody, it's provocative. Gets the people going. I'm kind of putting in some reds and yellows down there on the TTM. Nothing to really like attack. Taking a look at the 3-minute chart, which is just continuing to fail. We're getting some flashes of yellow on the TTM, which could give us an op like this. 15.3 and 15.3. So we may have something to attack here shortly as we approach 8:30. Five minute going from 17.7 to 19.5 to 20.5. We're all the way down here at 92. Okay. So we did end up with a yellow candle there, 15.3 to 15.2. And now we're currently also having a little bit of opportunity with some yellow showing up on the 3-minute chart as well, like on a more consistent basis. There's nothing to really attack though in terms of the TCM, just because it's so like red then yellow then red then yellow. So it really is just not like putting in a lot of very obvious quick moves, you know? Okay, it's getting a little bit better look to it. Went from 5.5 to 5.4 to 4.9 to 4.5. Just got a little micro profit back, 75 bucks. Nothing major. 4.9 to 4.4. Looking a little bit stronger. In long off 92.50, looking for a move up to 94. Watch out for rejections there at the 9 EMA, as it's been rejecting the 9 EMA pretty much all day. So I may want to take my own advice and potentially just get out with this little micro profit. Possible crossover inbound. 94 does not seem out of the question. There it is. All right. 4.2 to 3.6 on the TTM, possible crossover inbound. Gonna wait on it based off of what happened on the previous trade where we took the larger loss. It essentially was this exact same setup or a very similar one. It had a little bit more play to it. Actually, it had a lot bit more play to it, but nonetheless, still rejected in the same pattern, the same way, where we get this little pop up here, some pullback, and then like almost get a crossover, but not. So that's why I decided not to take an additional trade there. And I'm glad I didn't, because it did end up pulling back some. Pull back all the way to 91. Approaching this slowly, just taking jabs at this. Going back on 2 ticks. 4.12 to 3.8 to 3.5. Enjoying the bid right here at 91.25. Got out at 91.75, made back another 75. Down 750 on the day. We still have a reasonable amount of opportunity in order to get back at this. We've come back twice from being red. This would be our 3rd comeback on the day, which is just too many times. But yeah, no. Couple rejections there off both the 9 and the 12 EMA. 3.4 to 2.8 on the TTM. 3.8 to 3.4 to 2.8. Join the bid here. Enter long off 92, looking to get out of 92.50, which is just below the 12 EMA. It is pulling back though, so you did get in on a pullback. I'm also a little too zoomed in on the charts. I'm not fully adapted to using my chart this this larger way, this like wider way. Not fully adapted to it yet. We did get that trade. That did work out. I'm gonna throw a resistance line up in here at 95. It's pretty consistently resistant there. Consistently resistant. Like the Lucky Charms of trading. Consistently resistant. Let's see. 2.7 to 2.1. Popping up over that 90 MA there. We go long off 93. Ugh, pulled back on that entry. Thankfully, it's not a real heavy pullback yet. 2.7 to 2.3 on TTM. 9 is still below 12. Possible crossover is still inbound. Just looking to get out at, so we entered at 92.75. I'm just looking to get out at 93.25. But this candle ended red. Let's see, 2.7 to 2.3 to 2.1. So I don't really like that pullback there. Pretty heavy pullback actually. Now. We did come back up to break even. All right. It did fill our order. We're down 600 on the day. Possible crossover. I really want to see now the 9 get above the 12. I can't take the anticipation of the crossover, even though it looks nice, because of the rejections that the crossover has happened earlier several times on the day. I think this is going to go, but I thought that this other one was going to go as well. So this does look closer to a real crossover without the false break, but that doesn't mean that it can't still false break. And you saw right there that it rejected that crossover at the 26. Down 600 on the day. But I do feel pretty confident that we can end the day up a couple hundred or possibly even over 1,000 on the day. Did you miss anything? I worked my way back quite a bit. Break of the pullback, then rip up. Yeah, the wider chart, like I'm not used to the wider chart yet, but I don't know. I'm getting used to it pretty quickly. So it's not like it's not that challenging. By the way, if you guys are still chilling here, you're hanging out, please make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. I believe we do have 4 viewers at the moment. So we should have at least 4 likes. So make sure y'all like that button. You know, this one. That's the one. So right now we're only sitting at 2 likes, y'all. We got 3 people here. We should have at least 3. Yeah, it did seem primed to rip back up. I felt the exact same way. And the whole reason why I actually didn't take that trade, because to me, I'm like, oh, this is an obvious long, was actually due to this one, the one that put us back in red. Because this one was such an obvious long. It had so much TTM support. that was stacking with a lot of momentum very nicely. It was super close to the crossover there, and the 9 was millimeters, like a couple cents away from the actual crossover. Um, and so I decided not to take the other one for this reason, was because we took such a heavy loss on that one there. That actually was the thing that put us back in the red on the day. And so I thought to myself, hey, you know what? That first attempt there looked kind of similar to this, where it was really close to a cyan switch and failed that crossover. I'm gonna take a look and see if that one had red dots on the TTM. It did not. It had green dots. The red dots came later after the falling knife. Now we're pushing down towards the lows, like the real lows. This one hit 80, not 3983.75. We're down at 3987. So we're not far off from that. TTM looking like, well, I'm going to take a short here. Tried to go short off 86. Didn't fill me. So I just got to cut it. Would have been a nice trade, though. One, two, three, four, five. TTM 1.3 to 1.8 to 2.2. Short off 86, but I fear I may be too late. We got that trade. All right, down 487.50 on the day. Working our way back. I'm gonna switch over to 3 ticks instead of 2. $2.2 to 2.8 on the TTM. We're really close to making a new low on the day. TTM 3 looking like 14.4 to 13.6, 13.3 to 13.1 on the current. So there's actually some stacking happening on the TTM on the 3-minute side, but it doesn't mean that it's going to continue. It could actually still fail. We actually just made a brand new low down there at 82.75. So what happened earlier when we hit our low? It was here. We sort of chopped out near the low for a while, had a few bounces before actually turning around. Pulling all the way back now to 39.80. Big drop in the market. ES is down 40, like almost 0.5%. But it's down $18.50 or so. Switching back to the 1-minute chart. Big drop there. Brand new lows on the day. Now the question is, did we get a bounce here off this low? Or will it continue to fail? Will markets continue to fail? And the GDP was a little bit less than what they anticipated, but So, all right, so we are getting a bounce here, bouncing off of 80 up to 83, 84 area. Enjoying the bid right there. I'm just looking to get out at 84.50. I think that my entry was not great. Sort of joined the bid on the green portion of it. Now we're up at a doji. Join at 83.75. And potentially should have waited a little bit longer. But we did get that trade. We're down 375 on the day. So we are coming back some. 4.57 to 4.7, 4.8 or so on TCM. Low of the day is now 39.80. We may get a very nice bounce off this low here. Tempted to join the bid there. That would have been a very nice trade. $4.5 to 4.8 to 4.9 area. I feel like I'm kind of chasing this a little bit. Whichever resistance at the 9 EMAs been pretty challenging there. We are throwing in some flashes of yellow on the TTM. We got him long at 82.75. I'm looking to get out at 83.50, which we did get. Now down 262.50 on the day. Come back quite a bit. Our low of the day was like 12, down like 1,200. So we made it back just under $1,000 or so. And we made back around $900. 4.8 to 5.0 to 5.1 on the TTM. So some flattening happening on the TTM. Flattening happening. Where's that resistance? Right there at 95. Whoops. $5.0 to 4.9 on the TTM. Looking for an entry off of 84. Entry long off 84. Got out at 84.75. Now we're down 150 on the day. Getting some strength. 5.0 to 4.9. Not much strength, but something. So had two rejections off the 9 EMA and currently rejecting off of the 12. I don't know if I'd call it rejecting, but two rejections off the 9 EMA. But it is looking stronger for an upward move. 5.0 to 4.7 on the TTM. We popped all the way up to 88 for a second there. Or 86, I'm sorry. Enter long off 85. There's an 84.75. I'm looking to get out at 85.5. Again, possible crossover here. But these have been failing today. I'm gonna put my sell order just one tick up. $5.0 to 4.9 to 4.8. Not enough momentum in the TTM. Ugh. Say it ain't so. Trying to cut. Back down to being 487.50 on the day. Slow grind back up, but taking advantage of these sort of like flatten and pops. We did make back a pretty substantial amount, so we still have more working to do. What's up, Ed? Good to see you here. Five point 0 to 4.9 to 5.1 to 5.2. We may come down here and test this bottom, test these lows. We'll have to see if 39.80 holds. If 80 holds, then we'll probably get some nice bounces off of that. I think a lot of people are going to be looking to go long off of 80. I'm in long off 80. I'm looking to get out at 81.5. Which would mean that we would need a green candle. That's all we need, just a candle to go green. Either this one or the next one. New low on the day. Failed off 80. Getting a pretty decent sized pop back up. 280. Drop down to 78. Pulling back up towards 80. A lot of good amount of buy volume coming in. We did get that trade. We're back at red 262.50, but we did get a pretty sizable chunk back. We were at 487, now we're at 262. So we made back 225 on that last trade. 5.7 to 5.7 on the TTM. So we're bouncing off that low. 80 was our low, our last low. New low was at 78. A lot of waiting around today. We've also taken way too many trades to work our way back, but it's just something that is part of the process sometimes. So when we factor in our fees, we're actually down 589.50. So we'll have to make sure that whatever we trade, that we're earning earning more than 600 in gross, so that we can actually cover the cost of fees as well. Pulling down yet again to 79.50. 9 EMA, still 9 and 12 both continuing their downward slope. Still a lot of volume in the market. This green candle here got over 10,000 contracts traded on it. A little green hammer on the low. So there's still a reasonable amount of volume in the marketplace today. But really sort of need to see the actual trend reversal balance off the lows in order to really see this happen. From the time that we started the stream, which was at 7:30, we're here at 4,010-ish area. We were actually closer to 4,020 because we actually took a trade right here. But we've pulled all the way back down to 77. So this is giving back about $50 since we started the stream. That's a lot. That's a lot of downward move. Let's see. The 200 moving average is slowly working its way up above the VWAP. So it looks like continued downward pressure. That's on the 3-minute chart. 1-minute chart is sort of giving us a little bit of the opposite effect. The 200 moving average went above the VWAP for a moment, but now it is beginning to slope and actually somewhat diverge from the VWAP. So that does provide some hope for an actual turnaround or a trend reversal. It's a ways out though. I think we're looking at 930 potentially, maybe 9 if we do get a bounce off these lows. $6.2 to 6.4 to 6.2 again on the TTM. Long here, looking to get in. Ran past me. In long off 77.50. And I'm looking to get out kind of by the 9 EMA. Our music stopped. 9 EMA is at 79.50. I'm looking to get out at 79. We do have some yellow on the TTM, which does look reasonable for our trade, but it's 6.3 to 6.2, so it's not like it's momentum we can rely on. Reduce my sell order to a single tick. Alright, we did get that. Looks like it's pulled all the way up to almost 79. But we did take that. We're now down 225 on the day. Looks like our trade idea would have worked out, because I was looking to get out right there. 6.3 to 6.0. Fight the workout in order to just work our way back into green or even flat. Feel like I'm sweating. How's everyone else doing? You red, you green, blue? I guess blue would be break even. Let's see, 6.3 to 6.0 to 5.9 on the TTM 1 minute side. Definitely would want to see this begin to stack up on some longer time frames. But as it stands, the market feels almost like it's in free fall. Brand new low. They're at 76. 6.3 to 6.0 to 5.9 to 5.8. New low at 75.5. Just gonna check in on a stock. 72. Sort of peaked up here at 86. That was a really nice stock that I bought pre-pandemic, or like right at the beginning of the pandemic, and we kind of like 34, something like that. All right, down here at the lows of the day, around 75, 76 area. I think we did pretty decent just overall on trading, all things considered, that the market has been like putting in those big fat red candles. So I think that we've done well overall. I think this is a third or fourth straight day in a row that the ES has been dropping. 5.9 to 5.8 to 5.6 to 5.5. There, new low with a doji at the bottom. Let's see. Where's this 9 at? 9's at 77.5. Tried to enter long off 76, kind of ran past me. I was trying to take that trade right there, but didn't let me in. Kind of missed the entry. 5.6 to 5.1. That's looking reasonable. Try to get in at 77.50. Enter long off 77.50. Hopefully it doesn't just reject the 9 EMA, but I'm looking for this to push back up towards 80. $5.19 to 4.0 or 4.7. Gonna take that profit. Now down 112.50 on the day. Glad I took that profit because it is pulling back some. This would be in red territory now. But we're almost back to break even. $5.19 to 4.9. Another possible crossover inbound, but every single one of these has failed today, so I'm definitely not going to trust that, just because literally every single one of these has failed. But I think that given the market conditions, we're trading pretty reasonably well. 5.6 to 5.2 to 4.8 to now 4.2. That's pretty decent momentum. I can't believe that. Well, I mean, I guess I can because I watched it happen. But over the last hour and a half, the ES has given back 50 some odd bucks. That's quite a lot. Pulling that back down to 78. I can't trust this crossover until it actually crosses over. If we look back at the chart patterns on the day, every single one of these has failed. You can see right here, this is where we subsequently made a very nice bid trade. followed by a very nice big loss. Nice is not the right word, but we had an almost crossover again right here. That one also failed. Now we're in the almost crossover section, part 3. We've got a doji there at the top of that little mini move. 4.8 to 4.3 to 3.6. It's looking pretty reasonable. Trying to enter off 77. Or I entered off 79. All right, we did get that trade. We're finally back on green on the day. We're up 37.50. With our fees, though, that's going to make it be that we're down on the day. So we'll factor the fees in, but I don't want to do that math right now because the market's finally starting to move a little bit. And bouncing off 75 as the low. This possible crossover looks nicer than the other ones. The very first one, though, looked really nice. And then we had 13,000 contracts dumped on us. So, and that happened a couple of times. The second time that it looked kind of nice, we had 10,000 contracts dumped on us. And the third time, we had 6,500 contracts dumped on us. So it is declining the amount of contracts that are dumping on us, but 4.3 to 3.5 to 2.9 on the TTF with a hammer candle. We got a hammer on that doji, little Mario action. I'm gonna look to get in 78.50 if I can get that low. I don't think I'm gonna. Maybe I will. Yeah, we did 78.50. I hope I'm not taking another anticipatory trade because our first anticipatory trade was the thing that put us red heavily on the day. But I am gonna reduce this sell order down to just a single tick and just take a tiny little micro profit. Glad I did. Because there is that drop down there to 78. So we're up $75 on the day. Not our best day, but we did come back from a pretty massive loss twice. Or 3. This is our third comeback on the day. So 3.6 to 2.9 to 2.4. Putting in a red candle there. Volume is slowing down some. And my nose is getting more and more stuffed by the second. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, we back at it again with the green P&L. Pulling down to 78.25. This crossover actually looks like it could potentially happen. All the crossovers have failed today, but this one looks like it actually could take place. It would be a unicorn on the day. In order for this to really keep losing my voice today. In order for this to really play, that 9 does need to get above the 12, but this looks so much stronger than the other moves earlier. Speaking of which, I'm gonna look to get in off 78.5. Long off 78.5. I'm looking to get out at 80, but that seems a little aggressive. So I'm going to drop this and reduce down to 79 and just go for 2 ticks. Notice that we got the red dots on the TTM again, indicating that we may actually get another one of those dump downs that has happened off of every single move like this today. And there it is. I'm gonna cut that. Down 260-250 on the day. So again, with the failure, this is like the 47th millionth time in a row. It's crazy. All right. 1.2 to 0.9 on the TTM. This does still look good. There's a little bit of a rip back up. Trying to go long off 77.50. Hasn't filled me yet. Long off 77.50. TTM from 1.2 to 0.9 to 0.6. So TTM's getting some slowdown. Pulling back even more. This was such a fight to get back, and it's like so quick for the loss. It's kind of a frustrating day in that regard. Now we're pulling back towards the low of the day, so making a new low on the day down there at 75. Another crossover failure. We haven't been able to get a cyan switch like this whole day. 1.2 to 0.9 to 0.7 to 0.5, 0.7 or so. I'm gonna just cut that, and I think that we just need to accept the day as a loss. We've taken a lot of trades. We've come back 3 times. And at this point, we're just kind of stacking up fees. So P&L on day is down 637.50. We were up. We were green like $75 on our latest screen run. But when we add in the fees, we're down 1042.98. I try to make sure that I always add in the fees because it gives me a more accurate understanding of what my actual profit and loss is. And profit and loss is nothing if you're not being accurate. Otherwise, it's just kind of a waste of everybody's time. We're seeing some turnaround on the TTM. I think when this does turn around, this is going to be a vicious rip up. 12.5 to 11.8 to 10.9. I say that because, like, when you look at this rip up here that began, let's see, we had the lows at the close yesterday, lows at the close. But then after that, the market opened at 3 for futures market, and it just ripped basically like $35-40, and just ended up looking really good after that for a while. This is actually popping up kind of a little bit here. Finally got some yellow candles on the 5-minute chart. That's more reassuring. All right. I'm going to put in an order here for 15 ticks, and I'm going to try and get in off of 79. Bouncing through my order There it is. Got the entry at 79, and I'm looking to get out around 85 or 83. Sorry. I believe that this has room up here to about 83.50, which is right where that green EMA is. We finally got a cyan switch. We are finally, this crossover looks real this time. If we already get this, the surprise put us back at break even on the day, which is hilarious. We took another trade that was also a really nice big trade that took us out of red and put us back into break even on the day. This looks like this might be another trade like that. A nice big trade. It'll just put us back to break even. So the 9 is now above the 12. We did get the 1226 crossover. We've got resistance up there at the 50 EMA at 83.50. But if I'm really looking at this, and if you remember, not that long ago, we talked about the 200 moving average dropping below the VWAP, indicating a potential trend reversal, and it did, Our exits there at 82.75. We could probably grab a few more ticks on it. All right, so we did get that trade. Now we're down $75 on the day. This is looking much stronger. Like I said, I thought that we could have got a few more ticks on it, up to 83.50. We got out 3 ticks early. That would have put us green on the day, but I also want to make sure that we secure the bag at the same time. If we do pull back, I'd be looking for a pullback to about 81, which is where this EMA 35 is. But notice the slope of the moving averages. The slope of the moving averages does make a pretty large difference as to the overall momentum that we actually end up having on the day. We're finally getting this turnaround. Like I said, it would be somewhere between 9 and 9:30. It's 9:15. We're like right in the middle. We made that call about half an hour ago. So it is kind of nice when you're right about something like that. It kind of just validates your ego in a healthy way, not a, just depends on how you think and feel. But to me, I think it's a relatively healthy way to validate your ego, to be right about something. What we were right about really had more to do with the trend reversal and the time frame. But obviously, we've struggled a bit on trading today. 2.1 to 2.3 on the TTM cyan side. We're in long at 81.50, but I was worried that there would be a little bit of an excessive pullback here. And there's that excess. We'll see if this bounces here. If it doesn't, I'm just going to cut it. Keep my wrist there at 79. So we pull back to the 12 EMA. We got to get up through the EMA 35. EMA 35 is there at 81. We got to get above 81. This looks like the beginning forming of a cup and handle. Once we're done with this trade, I'll probably just shut it down for the day. We're gonna have to cut that. Dip too far down. Um, Loss of 375 or so on that one, I think. It is 312.50 actually. No, it's 412.50. Yeah, loss of 412.50 on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down there. I do want to thank each and every one of you guys for hanging out today. We did have a reasonable amount of viewers, and I would love and appreciate it if you guys would take a moment to actually like the video. It does actually help quite a bit in the overall scheme of things. It does help YouTube introduce this channel to more people, and that really does make it a pretty big difference to both me and the community at large as well. Also, guys, too, if you would like to earn funding in the futures market, be sure to check out Elite Trader Funding. Use the link in the description and the promo code JSBEST to lock in that lifetime discount there. And this will hook you up with, you can get any type of plan from one-step evaluation to the fast tracks, end of the day, to the static. Me personally, I'm working on a 100K static evaluation, which allows me 2 contracts in the mini with a $2,000 profit target. I'm also working on a 50K evaluation, which allows me 8 contracts in the mini with a $3,000 profit target. So make sure you guys check that out. And also, last thing would be to join up in our Discord community if you're not already there. We have some amazing traders there, and some people who provide some really fascinating ideas and feedback to the overall trading fun. So we talk about everything from trading to philosophy to entrepreneurship and all that good stuff. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down there. I want to thank you guys very much, and we love and appreciate you. We'll be back here tomorrow at 7:30 Pacific. That is 10:30 Eastern time. So we'll be back here tomorrow at that time, just about 1 hour after the markets open. And I guess that would be just about everything. So we'll be back here at that time, guys, and we'll see you then. I'm going to jump over to our Discord community right now. I'm going to post my reflection on the day as well as my results of my P&L. So you'll get to sort of read some of those thoughts about what it is that I was thinking, what I was feeling going through the trading day, and my intentional plan for adapting to the market that we're currently in, not the market that I want to see. So, all right, guys, much love and appreciation. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.